Hi, I'm Tony Morelan, Senior Developer Evangelist and host of PAL, the Samsung Developer Program Podcast. I'm excited to share with you the new Samsung podcast platform. In this session, I'm going to talk about Samsung Free, our latest media service that allows for immersive content consumption, including podcasts. I'm also going to talk about the benefits of the Samsung podcast platform, how easy it is for publishers to submit their RSS feed, and where to sign up. With Samsung Free, we've made it easy for users to quickly find and enjoy media content, including TV shows, podcasts, news, and games. Samsung Free is currently available in the US on many of our latest devices, and we will be expanding to Europe by the end of the year. There are many benefits of the new Samsung podcast platform. Let's talk market share. Globally, Samsung is the leader when it comes to selling phones. More people have a Samsung phone than any other phone manufacturer in the world. Samsung's podcast strategy is to make it easy for the millions of Samsung device users to listen to their favorite podcast shows and discover new episodes quickly and easily. For podcast publishers, the most impactful way to grow an audience is to list their podcasts across every podcast directory, including Samsung's new podcast platform. From podcast aggregators big and large, your show should be available anywhere people consume podcasts. And with the new Samsung podcast platform, we've made it easy for you to bring your show to the millions of Samsung device users. To bring your show to Samsung, it's as easy as submitting your RSS feed. The first step is to register. If your podcast is hosted on Libsyn, you can easily submit your show through their site. And we're currently working with other top hosting companies to integrate this feature. But just as easy, you can go to samsungpodcast.com and click the Sign Up Now button. If you would like to download a PDF guide for registering your RSS feed, just click the Download Guide link. You can also download the CSV template if you have multiple podcast shows, and download the RSS guidelines if you would like specs for customizing your RSS feed, which can help improve exposure for your podcasts. You'll need a free Samsung account to submit your RSS. If you already have one, just click the Sign In button and enter your username and password. If you do not have a Samsung account, click the Create One Here link below the Sign In button. In order to continue, you will have to agree to the terms and conditions, terms of service, and Samsung account privacy policy. Fill out your personal information, create a password, and click the Next button. An organization is set up by the Partner Portal account holder to give access to multiple people from the same publishing company. If you have been invited to join an organization, enter the organization code, agree to the Samsung Terms of Service, and click the Submit button. If you're an individual and do not belong to a multi-person publishing company, you must still create an organization for your podcast. Just tap Create an Organization link below the Submit button. Complete the form to create your organization, agree to the Samsung Terms of Service, and click the Submit button. One thing to note, the admin email address does not have to be the same as the Samsung account email you used when you first logged in. After successfully creating your organization, all admins and invited members will receive a confirmation email with the organization name and ID code. After you've created your organization, tap on the Open Dashboard button to access your new Samsung Podcast Partner Portal account. Now, let's import an RSS feed. Your RSS feed contains information about your show and is typically provided by your hosting company. This information is passed to directories like the Samsung Podcast platform. Each time a new episode is published, the RSS feed is updated, making the episode available on all of the podcast directories you have submitted to. To import a new podcast RSS feed, tap on the Add Podcast button. Enter your RSS feed URL and choose a category. In the near future, the category section feature will be removed and the category will automatically be received from your RSS feed. Be sure that your RSS feed includes a category for your podcasts. If you don't know your RSS feed, it can be found on your podcast hosting company's website. Tap on the Validate Podcast button to import your podcast RSS feed. When the import animation completes, you will have successfully imported your podcast RSS feed. If you would like to import multiple podcast RSS feeds at one time, you can upload a CSV spreadsheet containing the RSS feeds of your podcasts. This is helpful for publishers that have a large amount of shows that they would like to submit. Simply download the CSV template at samsungpodcast.com and fill out all of the information for each column. You will need to enter in a category for each show by selecting one of the categories listed under the column titled Column 1. Once you've completed the CSV spreadsheet, tap on the button titled Upload and select the CSV file on your computer. Next, tap on the Upload CSV button and send us your CSV file. When your uploaded CSV file has been processed, a confirmation email will be sent to your admin account email. Your imported podcast RSS feeds will then appear on the podcast page, displaying their current published status. If you want to learn more about podcast RSS feeds and even create your own RSS feed outside of your hosting company to improve discoverability, check out podcastinsights.com and search how to create your podcast RSS feed. All right, let's talk about statuses. There are several different statuses that a podcast can have, and I'll go over those next. Each status is color-coded and will appear on your portal page next to the name of a podcast. While your podcast RSS feed is importing, the status will show processing. Typically, the import happens in seconds. After your RSS feed has successfully imported, the status will automatically update to public. At this time, your podcast show is available to millions of Samsung device owners. If you would like to hide your podcast from appearing in the Samsung Podcast app, you do have the ability to change it to hidden. If your status shows broken feed, check with your podcast host for any feed issues. Lastly, if an episode of your podcast was suspended due to a violation of terms and conditions, you'll receive an email notifying you of the suspension. This is also true for a list of episodes or even an entire podcast show. If you need further assistance, you can contact us at spodsupport@samsung.com. We'd love to have your podcast show on the new Samsung Podcast platform and help grow your audience. Our editorial team is always looking for new and exciting shows to promote. So be sure to visit samsungpodcast.com and sign up. Thank you.